Hey guys, welcome to another Innovation Insights. Today I'm going to be joined by Fifi Monahan, who's had a really interesting background and career. Started off her life as a veterinary surgeon, working in the right back in Australia, before sort of moving to Novartis in brand management and more latterly sort of cancer research and innovation. Today she's going to be telling us all about the different types of innovations, some of the challenges she's facing, and a lot of the sort of behavioural changes that are happening within this sort of health information industry. So delighted and can't wait to hear more. Really nice to have you here today. Thank you very much for coming in. I think just to start, it'd be really good to get a bit more of an insight into your background and what brings you here today.
I actually started as a veterinary surgeon, so I was 4 years working as a veterinary surgeon in the middle of nowhere in Australia, but it wasn't creative enough for me, so I moved into brand management with Novartis, which is a global pharmaceutical company. And there I managed all of their animal health products, which was the link between the veterinary, but also their digital products because they didn't have anyone to manage those. So when I was working there, I was building some of their e-learning products, knowing absolutely nothing about digital at all. So I made all the mistakes you could possibly make when building a digital product. But what I was doing without knowing that I was doing it was I was really focusing on human-centered design. So something that we were really guilty of in marketing was always worrying about the business requirements and not really worrying about the user requirements so much. We just wanted to make profit and increase the margin. But when I was building this product, I saw that it wasn't going to work and it wasn't going to fit with our customers unless I really understood what it was that they needed, what it was that they wanted, and how it was going to fit within their organization and how it worked already. So I guess I was starting to do that without having any language on it, and loving it and realizing that I was kind of not able to really get under the skin of how to do this really well. So I moved back to Ireland and did a master's in digital innovation, which is where I finally learned the language of human-centered design, agile principles, test and learn, all of these ideas on how to create new ideas and build products and build services. And I guess that's how I got into innovation.
What does innovation mean to you within the sort of guise of those organisations?
Innovation to me is coming up with a new idea, a new method, a new process, a new service that solves a problem or finds a new opportunity, a new way of doing something that latches onto something that it hasn't been done before. What it means to me within those organisations, because what I'm usually doing is trying to work out how to hand out important health information to the public and get them to take better action for their health. So innovation to me in that context is understanding better what people's needs are, what their behaviours are, what it is that they need, what it is that they don't know, what it is that they want to know, and then responding to those. And I think those things change over time, and they change amongst different audiences, and they change even in different contexts with different people. So innovation within within the health information context is trying to latch onto those new ideas and methods that can actually relate to people in a changing context.
I suppose the health industry and obviously the subject matters you're targeting, is that evolving as well? Because I mean, there's so much research and understanding of cancer, for instance, in the UK now. Is that constantly changing as well? Is there more and more things coming out? Is it hard to disseminate the sort of complex message?
Short answer is yes, and I really see that as a duty of places like Cancer Research UK and other health organisations, that we have the privilege of getting all of this first-hand cutting-edge knowledge, and it's up to us to be able to digest and disseminate that to other people. And that's where I think the innovation team plays such an important role, because within Cancer Research UK, we have some amazing teams that are set up to do just that, to disseminate all of the newest, latest information out to the public. We've got an amazing nurses helpline, which provide information on the phone. We've got a cancer chat website, which the nurses also man and are able to get information to people who are seeking it online. We have a nurses roadshow, so they're going out into the streets and sharing all of that information. So what our innovation team should be doing is helping find new methods of doing that. So supporting the teams that are doing it really well within Cancer Research UK and finding new ways to meet new needs or changing needs with the new information.
So when you were working at Cancer Research UK, did you have a mechanism internally for capturing ideas from employees?
So we did. We had a few, and I would say it was quite disparate and maybe sporadic for capturing ideas from people. And I think this is definitely a reflection of the kind of internal silos for a big organisation. That's quite normal. And suddenly Cancer Research UK does such a lot of different things, from fundraising to public health information to actually generating the research. So it's understandable that we work within these silos, and as a result I think each different section has different ways of capturing ideas and then doing innovation, I guess.
Sounds like there was lots of different ways it was happening. Was there any kind of sort of centralized system or any kind of repository? Did you have a kind of a knowledge bank that you were building around those sort of innovations and ideation?
There have been a lot of questions on how we centralise not just innovation but strategy and business development. And a lot of questions over the last kind of 6 to 9 months, and then movements within the charity to make that happen. I think that innovation can't happen without being closely linked with strategy and being right up at the top of the C-suite. I think you need that support from leadership, not just a side thought of innovation and idea generation, but really as part of everything that you're trying to do. And there is a huge move towards doing that now. So, but with all of these shifts, I think something that really needs to happen is a culture change or a culture adaptation within the organisation. It's not just about making all of that central and making sure the leadership are on board, but having everyone feel like they can contribute to new ideas, understand the problems that need to be solved, and come up with solutions for them.
What would you say are some of the main challenges that are sort of facing the health information industry in terms of driving innovation?
Probably one of the biggest things that we found that we were always coming up against was what we were working on would often have a really slow impact. And that's really difficult at the beginning of an innovation project, when you're looking to try to get feelers about what's going on and maybe benchmark some numbers. But if you compare them to things that have been in market for many, many years, these numbers look really, really small. And in general, when you're trying to create health behaviour change, this can take a very, very long time anyway. So the speed with which we could prove any kind of reasonable impact was often very, very slow. And then kind of hand in hand with that, what I mentioned earlier, the complexity of trying to create a health behaviour change, that's something that is a really big challenge, because again, you're not just looking at one thing or one factor, but you're trying to understand how that fits within a kind of someone's complex life, really.
What do you think the sort of future of innovation looks like within the health information industry?
Problems are complex, and we need to take a real systems approach to what it is that we do. I think there is limited impact that you can have with one organisation or one way of thinking to approach a specific problem. What's really important is getting the right kind of companies or organisations collaborating to come up with new ideas and new solutions to the problems.
So that's quite an interesting one. So you're saying actually the future, you think, is actually not necessarily just about organisations on their own, it's actually what they can do with the potential customers or supply chain, alternative businesses operating in the same space. So it's that cross-collaboration you think that will create much more interesting innovations in the future?
Co-designing with people, and something that we always aimed to do at Cancer Research UK, and hands up, we absolutely struggled to do it, especially because we were often working with hard to reach audiences. So just practicalities and logistics of trying to do that was challenging. I think if you can co-design with the people who this problem affects, then you are going to come out with solutions that actually take hold and are useful to people. So it's collaboration between the people who the problems are affecting, as well as different organisations that have different capabilities and skill sets and understanding.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today and taking your time and obviously sharing all your insights around innovation, particularly across your really interesting career to date.
Thank you.